So many things that I actually wanna do and say, play for you this day. Welcome back. Uh, I'm back. Sometimes you never know when you get chosen to do things, how long it's gonna take. But one thing I learned that as long as you sucking up the air, my air, the air, the air that sustains us, the air that not only is utilized constructively, but also in a way where it can be controlled, many things through the air. And there's many things that we have to go over and address. As far as locations, okay, where they say I was from, or I came from, or where they want me to claim to be, is the NYC, which is a different type of growing up. It's a different environment. It's a different reality. What's real to me is not what's real to you. Your concerns is not my concerns. It's 48 concerns on this part, plus then Canada, and then you have what they call Alaska, which is another concern dealing with the temperature, temperament, attitude, things they eat. Uh, you know, vegetarian, vegetables, import things. It's different concerns for different areas of the world as we try to eliminate those concerns with compassion, coming, passing the eye on, pass, giving a pass, right? And then you have the pass, passing, which is a continuation. Then you have the past, right? Which is still continuation, but they want it to seem like it's a fixed thing. It's where they say knowledge, you know. So people take from the origin of what it is and then they add on and we call that vida. And then when they say, well, damn, we could use that word is for the taste bud, right? Because the taste represents your state of how you be, your state of mind. Your state of mind is mine, MIND, INE, but it's also M period starting off. So it gives you not what they would call the root, you see, but if you look at the word root and we're gonna say ROOT, but we say TOOR, right? And that's gonna be to, right? Or towards, right? The OR. You got ORARIRURA. So you that's the Torah, that's the root of their conception. Conceive, right? Right? Shun. Shown or not shown. Shun. SHUN or SHOW, two N's, and then the N. And it's shown. You know, shown, shown, shoe, shows, you know, the show, the move, the movement, the movies, the move with ease, the film. You see, the things that's not real. So all these words are associated with particular things that we do for the image, for the wordings to define, right? Define is the capitalistic find and penalties and rewards. Thank you. So yeah, this is what we into. This is what the heart is about. The heart is taking responsibility of who we be. And in the last part where this says, I knew I was an angel of God. Okay. And that was true too. You see, God is God. God to us, if you see the picture, you're gonna see another picture under the picture. See the picture right there. Right. Right. So now, right. That's the difference. Tip my fingers out, put it in right. So I'm in the picture of the picture. In the picture. See? with the crown that was given to me by that, which that's actually of the White House, the original White House, the concept of the White House, not the White House in Cuba, not the White House that is in Morocco, the real Morocco, which they call Washington, D.C., not that White House. And not the Washington, the state of Washington, which they call the state of Washington, which is the gateway to the other way from the other gateway to the other way, New York. So it's like two gateways, two poles, gateways, two sides, actually three to four, actually. And then the whole Canada thing, as far as, who's going to regulate Canada, blah, blah, blah. Niagara Falls, Niagara Falls, Niagara, niggas. The building falls, the falls, the water, the move, the waters from the seeds, right? The semen, right? The planting of humans, but the seed, the minerals going through what they call the solidified solids, right? And retaining in minerals, right? Arrows, right? Or areoles, right? Areoles is the same thing as Ariel, you see, which is one of the deities. So all these is like angelic talk, angelic things that they call technology, the ology of the Tanakh or Tanakh. They call it Tanakh today, Tanakh, Tanakh. Technology from the techs, the techies, the nerds, nerds from North. You see, but we're going to talk about the ERORIRAR, the or, which is the other side, which we consider to be the amber light. And the amber light is the filtering process of the degenerated qualities that we do not allow in what we call the new school. Yeah, what they call it the Jubilee 1,000 years. And the reason they call it 1,000 years, but then they give you a book and tell you to look at the BIBLE. And the BIBLE is actually basic instruction for leaving Earth. And let me tell you about the mention, not the mentor, to mention. They mention, to mention, citing people. People realize that they are a part of all the collective and what they put in so they can feel in it, connected with it, strong about it. You mess with this, I'm gonna get you. So they connected to it. So they want to be sided with it. So we're gonna give a big shout out to the 314, the non-factor, the whole crew, the people that you see and the people that do. The people that was faking it, the people that's making it, the people that was in it, because everybody have an own purpose. So people come in and then they break out because they finish their purpose. And then we use the thing about the capsule and this and that, the rocket ship and that just brings more attention to dumb shit. But it is, you got a job to do it. You learned and you had and you did what you do, and congratulations, you on top. No one can tell you not on top. You survived, you're still here. You may have some things you have to go in and tweet out which you did not know, and it's no penalty. Right now, there is no penalty. It's a grace period. It's still a grace period. Same grace period when you was your grandmother and she didn't know, and you didn't know when you was her. You didn't know when you was your mother. You didn't know right now, and you don't know while you your children. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna change that whole. Okay. We're gonna tell you like this: to know is to be in the now. So now you're safe. So you in the now. Okay, the day's date. You know the day's date from the first date that they said. Then you see the date that we say, and then how we can take time and use it in a better way. See, this was already giving you to say the first thing was knowledge. See, it says knock was the first degree, right? But we knocked at the back door. See, because the back door was the front door, because we was leading from the back at all times. And that's when you get into big shout out to legendary Bill Bob, Bill Bob. It's many. When we do things one time, trust me, you ain't the only one. And that's where that thing come out. I thought it was me. And that goes for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Repetitive of what it is originally. But the original plan, right, goes to when I was my dad. You see? And it stops right there. And then it goes to when my dad was his dad, and it stops. And many things I don't know, but I can take the name of my dad, and it was Melton, right? And Melton, right, in malt means death, right? Now, death is not the end result of anything. Is the path. Death is a path. At the end, right? They say you die, right? Right, and then with that die, it depends on how you live your life. What you gonna do? You either gonna go to the DI or the ID. Now we were taught ID. What's your ID? What's your ID? So we say, right, to keep that in tune, those who practice an application and master what they learn, that's called mastery, right? They'll say, what's your ID? Then your ID is be fruitful and happy, glad at all times, in appreciation to all things that's done, regardless to if it's done by ill emotions or ill intents. You have ill emotions and ill intents. Ill emotions is because they're oppressed. People oppressed. You know, and that's the whole thing about governing and how the people that sit in the seats of government, because we are the government. So we established this. Now, part of me coming back from analyzing what had happened, it all started with, I'm gonna say, for not me internally, for what I need to do, but for to get the identity of this entity, of this body. The body is the host, is the ship, is the vehicle for the many other spirits that want to come down and express themselves by way of they're not going to get into something that's not operating properly. Just like you getting in these fancy cars, right? And then if the switch go, how you going to get out? This is not a manual. It's not the man being the exalted part of the application manually. See, Ali exalted man from you input, not the input of the AI that you created, but they create, but they say you created, but they separated you and say you're a farmer, you this, but they say as a people we create, but one specified in that's the controlling factor, that's the button on the thing for the minstrel. So he is the engineer. So with engineer, they live in this way, so they don't feel the pains of the things they're creating or the things they're maintaining. And those that was lifted and took out of the muck and the mire, and they was the low of the low, and got to where they was, and then they want to blame it on the white man, So that's they outsource their problems. And say, how can you say you God, right? And then we got problems, and you're gonna blame it on the white man. Think about it. So what was that? It was another what we call his layers suit was popping. So we have people who are in that particular organization. We have people that established that organization. We got people who maintained it and gave them a chunk of money to do it, gave them a blank card, so they don't have to worry about the law. All this, it's called diplomacy. You know, diplomacy. how they become a diplomat of the program. So we're all in the program of expansion. We're all in the program of we the people. But we gotta know our proper place. It's called proper persona. And when we talk to people, we gotta talk to people the way it is. And those people that is the ghetto, the life of the ghetto, we got you back. Just live your life out. But just don't come out your frame, because it's not good for nobody. You protect you under grace. You're gonna protect you. You don't know. They don't know. So who's gonna blame? So all that punishment and rewards, that's why they have to reset it. Everything's reset again. It's gonna be reset until it's right. It's like they got the many uh notions to fixing. So it's sent to those who already know. You're reading my books. Years. The 50 years that I added on, plus the things that your dad of mine when I was very young, plus the things I made public about what I came to do, who am I, and why I am who I am, and why I am who I do. So it's like it's not strange. So as we continue, I don't want it to be about me, but it's always going to be about me because I am the nucleus of what I do. And am in the collective, but I'm in the lead at all times. I will never be in the back. I was in the back. That's why you don't know shit. You see, now you can blame me. You can outsource anywhere. You say, oh, I read? No, 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 no. Here you go. Let's see if you can get that. You good. Take a snapshot. I'm putting it there. Take a snapshot. Read it. All right. Now, it says the new school generation. Newschool.com. You can Google me, newschool.com, and you'll find newschool.com. Now, if it say new school, new school, niska, nipa, nata, tapo, that's not me. I'm new school. Okay. And you'll find that not only here, but other resources that will show you down the line. But you can Google me and you can find out many things about what you need to do. It says long away region presents. Okay. This is CB. And we had to change that, the CK. You got AB, that's 1, 2. You got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, which is 11. Okay, so we got A, B, C, which is 3, and then we got 11, which is the K. So let's call that, they call it CK, right? Or sick, right? But the word sick is seeking, you see? So in the seekers, the ones that's lost can't be seeking because they lost. They don't know. When you lost, you lost. You know you lost, but you don't know you lost if you don't know you lost. And right now, those people that when we say lost, that was a word that they wanted you to have, so you would be definitely lost. You would be a soul, which they say that nigga lost. Somebody he's a soul. And then you say you lost, but now found. Who found you? Who lost you? Your maker didn't lose you, because you still got the breath of life in you. And that's who you are. So how can you be lost within yourself is the whole thing. They made it easy. They said you've been crystallized. No. You've been programmed to destroy your damn self and everybody that's around you that don't agree with you, because they call it narcissism. I didn't really go for all these words that they was coming from the medical, because that was my whole coming up, with the medical people, and they trying to take my shine. Now you go take my shine, you see, because I had great upkeeping. I got good genes from all points. From the light side to the dark side that you say. From the lack of melanin to the proper melanin, that's what I say. You see, from the things that I ate, right, that I've become, the people I've been with, associated with, right, affiliated with, we have become one that way. We breathe together, we ate certain things together, we have certain customs that's called a cohort. A cohort. Okay. So matter of fact, I'm gonna get it. Okay, let's see. Dictionary core. Oh man, this is a lot of stuff. Mm. Okay. Core of cohort. This is just something I pull up. Oh, this is cool. It says teach students to think and communicate their thinking by public library. Think and communicate. Get to the core of the core. Obtain and retain with files. We are redefining, redefining. Think and communicate. These think the 6 shifts equal 21 skills. Old school versus new school. Okay, I like this. Okay, so we're gonna take this here. I'm gonna save that right there. I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay, we're gonna get the definition. Definition. Yeah, I think it's this one. A group of people with shared characteristics. A cohort of civil servants patiently drafting legislation. Divided people into groups who share characteristics. In the plain elementary, students will be cohorted or placed or assigned class. What is the cohort meaning? Companion, colleague, group of individual having statistical factors such as age or class membership in common or in demographic studies, one of the 10 divisions of ancient Rome legion. Okay, let's see about this one here. Okay, the structure of the Roman army. A legion was divided into 10 cohorts comprising of 180 men apiece, and each cohort was subdivided into 6 centuries composed of 80 men apiece, not as 100 as some suggest. Okay, I think that would be the elementary rudiments of establishing the cohort. Okay, and we just have to keep it moving. We just have to. I just have to keep it moving because let's see what we got. That's Roman soldiers. That's what they're coming up with. So I'm gonna have to take this up and read this here. When we think of Roman soldiers, we imagine a person wearing an armor or helmet, carrying a sword, holding a spear or a shield, ready to engage with an enemy. We can imagine him obeying orders of the seniors, fighting for Roman glory. Who were his seniors? Was a commonly was a soldier happy? The structure of a Roman army. The Roman army was divided into legions. Okay, that's the same thing I was trying to tell you about religion. Bring back the legions. Bring back, establish a legion. Break up the unity that they have what they call divisions. Divided divisions. Divided into legions. The arm, me, my arm, divided into legions. My organs, my this so you see. Okay, a legion is subdivided into 10 cohorts comprising of 480 men apiece. Okay, so the cohorts would be 480 men apiece, and each cohort was subdivided into 6 centuries comprised of 80 men apiece. Okay, so 4 times 80, 6 times 80 is 480. Okay. The fact that a legion at full strength was to comprise 6,000, but 4,800 was nearly to mark it into reality. So we're going to take it to the 6,000 as a legion, a full strength legion. Okay. Legions. All right. This is a script from the video series Other Side of History, Daily Life, and Ancient World. Watch it now. No, we ain't gonna watch that. Like all armies, the Roman army is very hierarchical, 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 hierarchical. If you had technical enterprise in metalwork, carpentry, or medicine, you join the ranks of the immunes, which means that you are exempt from certain tasks such as standing guards. If you were among the elite, you were known as principals. The principals hoping to be promoted to the rank of centurion. Okay, so we have established the principle. The principles of love will teach these things. The most privileged among the class was the Aqualifer. Aqualifer. Kayla. 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 It's like a lot of things going on, but big shout out to Kayla. Kayla. Kathy. Kayla. Jamaica. Okay, but anyway, the most privileged amongst this class was the Aqualifer or eagle bearer. He was the one who carried the eagle standard of the legion and who led the legion into battle. Yes. Okay. Below him was the signifer. Signifer. There were about 60 signifers, in each of whom carried the signum, or what we call the standards, one of the centuries. The standard of one of the centuries. These men were all highly decorated and next in rank to the centurions. All right, I'm gonna take a minute. This is the thing. Somebody wants to be a dictator. Thank you very much. Memory is energy, and energy I be. This is what I say. I am who I am to be. I do what we do. We say what we say. We play like we play all day. Every day we look and play happily. Big shout out to the family. Big shout out to the musical master of this next thing. We collectively. Big shout out to the crew. Sometimes I mention y'all, sometimes I don't, but we will have our time to do what we need to do. All right, centurions and above in the Roman army, centurions. A centurion was in charge of 80 men in his legion, the backbone of the army. A soldier could not afford to misbehave in the Roman army. If he committed a mild offense, the centurion would beat him with a rod. If he committed a more serious offense, the centurion would impose a fine on him, get him demoted, or even transfer him to another legion. If the soldier fall asleep on the guard duty in enemy territory, he would have ordered other soldiers to club him to death. Okay, so that's where your clubs is at right now. All those is going to the club. You fell asleep behind enemy territory, and now you're being clubbed to death. You're being poisoned. You're not eating right. You're not doing what we're supposed to do. You become a fuel for the. You become. That's what they say when they were saying that they kicked me underneath the bus. Being underneath a bus is underneath the sub. The bus is BUS. Sub is SUB. This is why you go to Subway to eat. They don't want you around them in they lavish places. So they have the restaurants to restore restaurants to restore your energy along the way, the path of you traveling. The word travel is trail. Okay? Trails and tribulations that you're going through because you're not in, you don't have an arm for to extend extend the things that's needed to done for your torso, for your territory, for your involvement within this body. You don't even take gear and understand the ramifications of what's going on as far as the wind and the water that's in you, the water that you be, the wind that you feel, the wind that you produce. You see, you don't think about these things because you're dead. You see, and when we talk about dead, you're a living dead. So even though it's death with the travel, you have died before you even came alive. Before you haven't even been born. They say you need to be born again because you haven't been born yet. Okay, one time to live, one time to die. When you die, that is the the, the happiness. That's the id. It's a festive. See, and that's a constant thing that you go through every second. You breathe, you take in new, you expel the which what is not useful to you now, useful to something else, come back to you. And that's the same thing with everything. The economy, with the money, the barter system that you was uh turn the other way. You turn the other cheek. You speak because you're programmed to say, to keep the confusion along the way, but you have not did anything. You haven't wrote anything. You haven't printed anything about it. You haven't said anything. You haven't tried to do anything. I mean, you have to have input. So now it's a start. Like I said, you wasn't gonna do it before I did it anyway, and that was the reason of the domino effect that took place for all the people that heard me, knew me, seen me, jealous of me, wanted to me, liked me, whatever. It didn't matter. because I was just here just to show you that in a minute, when you become your children and your children become your grandchildren, you let them know that you knew me. You let them know I did the best. You let them know about the circumstances that we call oppression, the that was pressure on us, oppression or oppression, everything. You see, the laws that was written, the FDA, the loans that was in, the laws that was made so we couldn't get even a loan, the loan that was given so people could grow and prosper. By law, we were not allowed to do this. By why? Why we wasn't? Because they had a better plan. The plan was to let those others from other countries, as they call them, other places that we'll say, that drifted away from here and considered to be part of the mainland. We call them Island or island. Just like we say Islam, you see, or is am, or is the new am, or the nine. It could break down different ways. But what I'm saying now, we got the way. If the soldier fell asleep on guard duty in enemy territory behind enemy lines, in the ghetto behind enemy lines, in the yeah, behind enemy lines, in the city, right? Suburbs, countryside, farming areas, same shit. They would club him to death. When the ranks of centurions too, within the ranks of centurion, there were divisions. The most important centurions was the primus pilus, the centurion in charge of the first century of the first cohort. Centuries couldn't rise any higher except become praefectus castrorum, perfect in charge of the camp. Us. I'm gonna have to get back with you, but this is just too much just to give out like this. We have to set this up. So now you know what we're doing. Guys, this is just, I tell you, technology it is the only way we're gonna do that. If you were permanently assigned to a province, you were able to lead a domestic life of sorts. Many soldiers took a common law wife, variously referred to as hospida or facaria. Hospida means a hostess, whereas facaria means a kitchen girl, until the emperor Septimius Severus came to the throne in AD 193. However, you were not permitted to marry, although you were entitled to join the army if you were married already. If you rose to a rank of Centurion, however, there was no such restriction and you could marry whenever you liked. If you were on the march, your wife and children would at times be able to accompany you. And if you didn't have a wife or significant other, there was no shortage of prostitutes accompanying you on the march, awaiting you at your next stop over. So prostitutes was very, very in place for the continuation of the movement and continuation of people, places, and things. Two, there was a prohibition against owning property in the province that you were serving in. It was not strictly enforced. Practically in the West, veterans chose to stay in the same province after discharge. Many of them, no doubt, settled down with a local girl. It was due that a soldier's pay, its stipendium, a stipendium, which he received 3 times a year, was very low. But each new emperor gave him a donative from the Latin donativium, a monetary gift, both on his accession and his terms of will, learning more about being a rich Roman, retirement of the Roman army. So yeah, we're gonna have to study this here. Getting closer to what is said. Who were the immunes in the Roman army? The soldiers with technical experience in metalwork, carpentry, or medical joined the ranks of immunes in the Roman army. They were exempt from some basic tasks such as standing guard. Who were the auxiliaries of the Roman army? The auxiliaries were the non-citizens of the Roman army. They were the non-citizens in the Roman army. They were less protective armor than legionaries and were placed in front ranks. So when you're talking about the legendary in front ranks. Oh, okay. They were less protective than the legendary. So when somebody say legendary, that means they were protected. Okay. In the Roman army, centurion was in charge of 80 men in his legion. He had the authority to punish a soldier who made mistakes or misbehaved. Roman army is one way in which people from different provinces came to Rome and made it their home. It's the same thing with the U.S. Army. The Roman army was also attached to social mobility. Many young men from all over the Roman Empire left provincial towns and villages to see the world and make a life. And that's what happened with that. Alpion's visit to Rome. A teenager named Alpion stated on the adventure of his life sometime during 2nd century AD. He made the decision to leave his sleepy hometown in Egypt and join the Roman army. So he traveled to the port of Alexandria and set off for Rome in a ship. On the way, however, the ship was caught in a storm. Terror stricken by a storm, Apion prayed to the god Sepphoris for salvation. Sepphoris answered his prayer, and the ship survived. It ultimately docked at Misenum, the naval station of Rome at the Bay of Naples. He got himself in the military, though it was not clear whether it was the Roman army or navy. He was immediately rewarded with an enlistment bonus of 3 gold coins, in which he also paid for his traveling expenses. He got a new Latin name, Antonius Maximus, or he was a tough lad. All this is known to us because Apollos wrote a letter to the family in Egypt soon after his arrival to Rome, narrating his adventures. It starts like this: Opponent to my father, Epimachus. Very many greetings. Above all, I pray for your good health, and you may always be strong and fortunate, along with my sister, a daughter, a brother, everlasting. Everything is going fine for me. After describing the storm in the sea and the drama that followed, he tells them about his golden reward. He finished the letter by saying, Write me a letter about the welfare of my sister and brother. I have sent you through Echitum a portrait of myself. My new Roman name is Antonius Maximus. This transcript from the video series.